In fact, it's not only opposition, but even the ally of the BJP, Shiv Sena, that has criticized the demonetization implementation, questioning the lack of proper planning. You have a BJP ally, Shiv Sena, accusing the ruling party of being incapable of outlining a law that will put the black money hoarders behind the bars for life as well. Referring to the constant changes announced by the government regularly, they said there is a general vibe of fear that has overtaken the lives of common man. But Shiv Sena MPs are also likely to meet the Prime Minister over the demonetization later in the noon today. They have demanded that the note ban should be lifted from cooperative and Zilla banks. My colleague Brijesh is joining us. Also joining us is Virendra to give us lowdown of how Shiv Sena is now going to meet the Prime Minister. Shiv Sena MPs have sought time for the noon today. First going across to Brijesh. So BJP is facing trouble not only from outside but within the alliance as well. Brijesh, what will be the strategy now from the BJP?
Well, the Shiv Sena has been, against this move of the government from day one. If you remember, Divina, they've also participated in the protest march led by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. But the fact of the matter is that, that they are bound to give BJP some jittery moments because last night meeting, which happened in Delhi, all these member of parliaments decided that, that they will raise this issue vociferously inside the parliament, and they had sought a meeting, and today they are meeting the Prime Minister at 12 noon. And it has been told to them that, if things doesn't, look like solving, or if they don't get an assurance from the Prime Minister that, that they will look into the demand of not allowing the cooperative banks to deal or exchange money, they will walk out of that meeting from the Prime Minister and will protest against the BJP in both houses, be it Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Divina?
All right. Brijesh, let me go across to Virendra as well. So, Virendra, what we're looking at from Shiv Sena, as Brijesh has rightly pointed out, is a thorn in the BJP shoe, which is becoming more and more prominent during this winter session. And ahead of it also, it's the second showdown back-to-back that we've seen from Shiv Sena on the demonetization drive. First, they said that they will also willing to join Mamata Banerjee in the march to the President House. Now, at least the MPs are meeting the Prime Minister, but Shiv Sena has been critical of the implementation of the demonetization drive at a time when BJP wants more unity within its own house.
That's true. In fact, on the first day itself, rightly said by Brijesh, that in every editorial in Samna, where Shiv Sena is criticizing making a very big hard-hitting statement against the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that whatever decision has been taken on the demonetization is not good for the country and for the common man of this country, because they are on the street outside banks and ATMs, and that shouldn't have happened. Shiv Sena is pointing out that to take action against few black money hoarders, the few corporate people, few industries, you can't take the entire country, on the whole, and so make people suffering on the ground. Another point is that Shiv Sena is trying to grab this opportunity to hit back BJP, because there's a BMC election in 2017 in the next few months. So definitely this is one of the political strategy being planned by Shiv Sena to gain the the sympathy of the common man at this point of time.
Okay.
Another important part is that cooperative banks. RBI has taken a strict action against the cooperative bank, because most of the ministers and most of the the leaders of most of the political party have their money hidden in this cooperative bank, and that is not going easily by Shiv Sena. Back to you, Devina.
Right, all right, thanks for that. Virendra, also getting a reaction from Mallikarjun Kharge. Let's cut to that because as the money chaos continues. So now it's been 14 days since the Prime Minister's surprise announcement to denotify 500,000 rupee notes. Since then, we have seen a massive improvement. Now that the queues are easing out in banks, the Reserve Bank of India has also announced a 60-day extension if you have to repay your small auto and home loans as well. Let's take you through what's been the latest in the series of announcements from the Reserve Bank of India. They've also eased out cash crunch for weddings. Now you'll be allowed to withdraw up to 2.5 lakh rupees. It comes with riders, but it will be easier now for those planning their weddings in short duration. Also, the RBI has allowed massive improvement that we have seen for the farmers, that now they will be allowed to use their old currency to purchase seeds going ahead. So you have the old notes being allowed for the farmers. That's a massive relief so that the agriculture community does not feel the burden as the Rabi crop season when they will be planting their crops and they need money to buy seeds from old money. But all this needs a valid ID card and several other riders that need to be met. So to talk more about that, we have now with us former Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Rakesh Mohan, who's joining us from the United States, where he is currently teaching and also very closely monitoring the demonetization drive of the government. We've seen several political feathers being ruffled, Rakesh Mohan, but what we're looking at, Mr. Mohan, this morning is the scale of it. You have about 1.2 billion people who have, many of them, the economy running on cash, lining up outside their banks, outside their ATMs for their own money. They're very anxious. So thank you for speaking to us, first of all. How are you looking at this large-scale implementation of the demonetization drive, unprecedented in its scale?
Well, first let me say that I think the objectives of the move are certainly something that one can accept, and one can say that there have been very good objectives. There also seem to have been a certain strategy in that, in the first instance, the Prime Minister or the government, soon after it came in, initiated this very big move to open bank accounts for just about everyone in the country, and it seems that a very large number of Jan Dhan Yojana bank accounts have been opened. Second, there was also the move to try and get more declaration of black money abroad. Third, there was also the move to do the tax amnesty to give, I think they gave people about a year to declare the black income with a certain penalty. And I guess about 62,000 crores came out of that. So in that sense, there was kind of a calibrated policy to attack black income. And this was then, in some sense, the fourth move in that direction. So to the extent that I think all of us can agree that it's a very good idea to attack black money head on, this was certainly a very good move. However, post facto, looking at the kind of suffering and inconvenience caused to the people, one can ask the question whether it could have been done better. And I think one does have to ask whether it was necessary to demonetize the notes immediately on the day of the announcement, given the fact that people are allowed to deposit the old currency in their bank accounts till the end of December. Presumably it was feasible for the government to allow the use of the old currency until the same time, that is until the end of December, while plugging many of the routes by which the black money could have escaped, i.e. particularly to do with gold purchases, foreign exchange transactions in terms of salting the money abroad, maybe a certain kind of halt to cash transactions for real estate, and maybe a few other items where black money is particularly used. So it does seem to me that it was not necessary, given the objectives of the move, to ban the use of the currency immediately.
Okay.
So the main question really is that whereas the objective of the move can certainly be applauded and supported, it's absolutely necessary for the country to come to grips with the generation of black money.
Well, Mr. Mohan, let me tell you, many of the opposition parties are exactly saying that although the objective of crackdown on black money could be lauded, but the implementation is where the common man is suffering the most. And in your experience also, sir, how do you see the fake currency racket being dealt with? Because that is another arena which the government has said with coming out with new 2,000 rupee notes and new 500 rupee notes, it would be more effective in dealing with the counterfeit currency.
Well, first, let me say that the issue of fake currency, although it's important, in quantitative terms, it's not large at all as far as we know. So I don't regard that as a big issue, but yes, the fake currency has to be tackled, and that's all. There's been a continuous effort in the sense of continuing to make more complex the security features in Indian banknotes, and you don't need to demonetize to do that. But of course, so the issue, I think, counterfeit currency is important, but not crucial. As far as generation of new black, yes, go ahead. As far as generation of new black money is concerned, I think that one would imagine that people now would be more deterred to generate black money given this move that has taken place. Second, I think that as the Prime Minister has said in some speeches that I've read about, that there will be further moves. So one would imagine that there would be more moves to curb the use of cash in large transactions, so that new black money is not generated, and greater use of electronic transactions, greater use of checks, greater use of PAN cards, and so on. There is one issue I think that we do need to think about. That given that agriculture
Yes.
is in principle not taxed,
Yes.
so all agriculture income is all white. That is, by definition, there can be no black money in agriculture.
Absolutely. In fact, sir, it is the rural economy that's largely cash-driven that is bearing the maximum brunt. But reports that we've also got is that many have supported the Prime Minister's move. We've also seen the easing out norms announced yesterday only by the Reserve Bank of India, saying that now farmers will be allowed to purchase their seeds and the other agricultural equipment with the old currency as well for the Rabi crop, which is expected to be sown in the coming few days. But here's another deals largely and is dependent on cash is the real estate sector. Now, there could be a silver lining also with the house prices going down. Is that the impact that you're also assessing, sir?
If also in the future the use of cash comes down in property transactions, one would expect property prices to go down. Now, in that case, to the extent that many of the real estate developers have high debt equity ratios and have large borrowings from the banks, one could see higher NPAs in the property sector, which will then increase the NPAs to the banks.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to India today. I'm afraid we're completely out of time, so I have to wrap this up here. But thank you so much for sharing your opinion. So that's the former Deputy Governor of the RBI, of the opinion that though the objective for the black money crackdown is laudable, but the implementation remains a question.